other day said, John, you haven't showed us a slasher drive around yet. Well, here we are. Hard to do with one hand because one hand's the steering wheel, the other hand's the forward reverse. So we gotta do some work to her. But yeah, it's kind of difficult doing that. I run both hands, so we got her in a higher gear, so she don't have a whole lot of power. She's got speed, but not a lot of power. Not a lot of power. We are having an awful time. We've tried everything. This is what we're trying now.
When you hit it next time, don't back off until I grab it so it doesn't come off of there. Because when you backed off, it wiggled it loose. Hit her one more time.
Didn't even move. Stupid crap. So today was a disaster. It's no, we cannot get that pin out. So that pin right there is enough to drive you nuts. So we'll actually work on that. We got a plan for it for Monday. That's the idea, is we'll fix it on Monday. Because I need to repack those cylinders, and then I have like I want to go with that pin, and that bushing is out of it. But Josh kept the bushing in the tool truck and gave me the pin. So I couldn't fix that today. So Jeremy there, Jeremy, he's fixing stuff, or washing it. He just got done washing that truck. So Jamie is his name, not Jeremy. He's washing that off. And today was the first day I've been here since the chipper's been here and Brian was here. So we went over the chipper for a while, discussing different things. And he's already fixed all that we've talked about. That's fixed, and I think they've ordered some steel because it's cracked up in there a little bit. So they'll go through that and fix that. Me and Brian were discussing hoses, and she's going to need a lot of hoses. A lot of hose and fittings, he said. They're just, I mean, once you get like this, where do you stop? You know what I mean? Like, where do you start if this one's like this and this one's like that and like that? It's going to need a lot of hoses. We were discussing that. But the main thing we discussed was we'll discuss the chipper disc, a couple things on that. Cutting this off. We did that on ours. Eliminating that fan were just not really useful. It might work in the perfect scenario, but it really, I haven't, with how many hours I've put on, I haven't noticed a purpose. So we discussed this down here, putting something in there, and like fixing these hoses in here. And the other chipper's got a bracket that goes from here to here, and that's where all them hoses are blowing in here. We've did videos on that. This doesn't have the bracket, so that's nice. So we discussed those, and then we went inside and we spent some time inside here. I'll show you some chipper secrets that we're working on. The tricky part with this is this is a little different than the other chipper. That other hydraulic line there goes to power your fan over there for the hydraulic cooler. So that's got to stay intact. Different than the 2755. That blue light is the light for the reverser. When the fan reverses, that goes off, I guess. It's all new to me. That's not on the other one. So what we discussed in here, I'll give you some secret, is well, putting some holes in there. And that's just a rough drawing. But gave him that idea, and he'll put gussets on. He'll build up underneath, and then put holes in there. So that'll be done right. And then the other problem that I have an issue with is that right there, that just stops wood. So you can see our lines of drawing and going up, making it so this is just a nice smooth transition of wood going in here. And that's what we worked on, just coming up with these designs in here. Because this is a 23, it's a little different than our 27, so therefore I want to get it so that wood's flowing through here real smooth so we don't have any problems. I'm trying to remember on our chipper what's right there. So that could have been welded in even after Morbark. So we'll fix that. We'll put them holes in there. Augers look good. He went through and welded. That's one thing we discussed. Here's a tip for you. A fun fact, shall we? I'm going to try to get out of here. It's really, I don't want to fall. These augers, they're like 14 foot long, all the way up there. So when they build the chipper, they set the frame down, they put these sides on, and then they put the augers in. These are one of the first things to put in the chipper, are the augers. So that's a fun fact that I didn't know, that Brian discussed, because we discussed how hard they are to change them. And that front cover comes off in there, and they all pull out that way. But that's how you change them. But you can see where he's welding on stuff. So we discussed, they used to have a conveyor system like that. Hey, what's up? And Brian said he hated the auger idea till the augers, he's seen it in action. Then he said whoever thought the auger idea was a bad idea was an idiot. So but he said that this system is way better than the conveyor system that they had in here before. Like I said, they hold up good. They're doing a lot of work down here, but they do good work, so, which is good. So that's kind of what it worked down there. So that's a fun fact that these get put in here like right. One of the first things to go in are the augers. So we discussed all the different feed wheels, because like right here there's 4, and we'll go into a video later on that maybe. There's reasons why we do certain things, and maybe I'll go into a video later on that. But we went over the design of the different feed wheels because you can do them differently. The other thing that I don't like is on both of these curtain chains, you see there's a third spot. So there's actually a spot for a third rod that goes through there. And then you can put more chain. And the same thing with this one. So, we also discussed that these chains need to come all the way down to the feed wheel. So we'll put another rod in there and curtain chains that come all the way down. And we'll put another rod with curtain chains that come all the way down to that length. Do it right. That'll get cut off flush, which I know why they did that, but it just caused a lot of problems. So, but anyways, all the welding is done on this machine except for up there, where he wants to put some new steel in there. Other than that, like he's welded up this, hard surface that, all the welding's done. And then one more part is we have a problem with when links break off our flail chain and they fall down this, and they fall in the chain, and then they go out and they get stuck right there. So we're gonna have this come out further so that stuff falls right here and not right here. That's gonna be huge, because nothing worse than when your conveyor stops because chain's stuck in here, and there's no reason not to have that stick out a little farther. So we'll fix that. Ryan will fix that. And yeah, that's some stuff we discussed, and that plastic's not bad there. We'll put the one little piece in there. And we discussed one thing that they did, which was slick, is they welded that edge piece up. So we kind of discussed the pros and cons of that, and we'll see how that works out. We have the issue is the conveyor won't go all the way out, and he's only got one chain on this side, no chain on that side. So once he works on the valve, there's a valve at that first valve bank that gives fluid to the valve bank, and there's a diverter valve, and then there's another valve, and there's internal relief valves, and there's one of them that are probably bad. So he'll work on that, because stuff's just not quite working properly. Like this should be able to extend itself out, and it won't, and the cab wouldn't flip like it should. So just a couple things like that. So we'll test those relief valves up there and get that straightened out. That's kind of the idea there. But it's going to take time, but it ain't going to take a whole lot of time. So you can tell, like those flare rods I was telling you about, if they're missing one right here and one right here. So we'll fix those, then all the feed wheels. So those are getting worked on now. But yeah, this valve right there. So there's internal relief valves in there. Brian was explaining it to me. This is something I learned today. So the new chipper is a different setup than that, but that gives your pressure going in here. And if that's not giving it the right pressure, then come on, John. Then the conveyor won't stand up right, and the cab won't stand up right. So those are a couple things that we're working on, and Brian's going to be working on. He's got the hoods off; they're getting welded up inside. But yeah, today was not a good day for working in a shop. That slasher didn't cooperate with us. But we're going to get it Monday. We'll have a video later. We'll get that baby whipped into shape. It needs a new wear plate on it. So we'll get a new wear plate. You can tell from right here that it's dished out up there. It's kind of hard to tell, but that needs a little bit of work. We'll get there. And I think we'll get there faster than what you think. This is going to come together quick, and we're happy. I'll be happy to get this out in the woods and put wood through it. That's our main goal. That's what we're trying to do. But you ever see these here? We got something's in here. That's interesting, see? But something's in here too, and in here, there's another one. Look at them fancy little MacGyvers. Look at all that action for all you fellows out there. All kinds of good stuff around here. But yeah, there's a lot of holes in here. But I think the system that me and him talked about with the feed wheels if this thing works like I think it will, which I've studied the old one and the new one, and to get everything working together and understanding the throat and making videos of wood going through here, gave me a real good idea of what I want. You know what I mean? And if I can get what I want, which seems to never happen, but I'm telling you, if this comes together like me and Brian talked about, this thing is going to be impressive, and that's what we're looking for. So, yeah, we got to do some adjusting, but this thing's going to come right into her. Rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. I better go help him. Unloading the buncher. So, okay, we'll catch everyone later. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see this thing in the woods. I want to. He said everything's backwards. He said the functions in the cab were just all janked up, so they won't fix all that. That's just simple hoses. We'll get it. We'll get it. We're gonna keep rolling until this thing's. I can't wait to see it put out wood. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be game changer. You know what I mean? Restart with the ladder.